Yeah, it's fine to move around, right? In between stuff. Okay.
Just a bit, yeah.
Yeah. I'm just gonna be walking around the whole time. Okay, my name is Peter Balke, and here at Chupp's Pianos, I do mostly belly work, which is the inside of the piano, the cast iron plate, and the soundboard. So first off, a piano will come in, and we've got to tear all the old strings off, and then we'll pull the plate out. For larger plates, we actually have to use a hoist because the cast iron plate's the heaviest part of the piano. So once we get it out, we do what we call a wet sand, which is just sandpaper and water. And that's to kind of do all the prep work. It takes off the old finish, it smooths it over, and then once you're at that point, you start puttying. You got a lot of puttying because there's dents and dings from wear over time, and then there's also just imperfections in the original casting. Initial puttying is you kind of almost slather the whole plate in putty, it feels like. And then you have to let that dry and you can sand it off. And then once you do that, you're ready for the first coat of finish. Usually about 4 or 5 coats of gold, and in between each coat you have to do more puttying and more sanding. There's a lot of letters and on the plates that just say Steinway Sons and different patents and other things. And so the plate gets lettered, it gets serial number and decal gauges, and then the clear goes on, and that kind of finishes it up. We first assess the soundboard. You pull the plate out and then check the crown, the bearing, the condition of the bridges, and the supporting ribs. If the overall integrity of the board is intact, then we can repair minimal cracking, secure loose ribs, and that allows us to retain the original soundboard. Then we completely refinish and seal the top and bottom of the soundboard, so this includes the perimeter and along each supporting rib. And this just ensures that the soundboard is structurally solid and will be able to withstand reasonable fluctuations in humidity. Then the bridges, if the bridges are in good enough shape, we'll use the original pins. If they're in poor shape, we'll pull the pins and put new pins in, and that also entails re-notching it. And so once you have all that done, then it's ready to spray. So we'll take it into the spray booth, and we'll usually put about 4 coats of lacquer on it, and then your soundboard's done. I played piano since I was 7 and was quite into it in my teens and still am today. So that kind of early on gave me an affinity for the instrument. There's a tech in Fort Wayne, Larry Merriman, who I apprenticed under and kind of dipped my toes in, and then started getting into piano work, learning basic tuning and other things. And I had experienced woodworking, and then kind of was looking for a transition, and an opportunity opened up here at Chupp's. And I thought, well, hey, this is pianos, and I kind of have experience with woodworking in general, and I like pianos. I know something about them, and so that's kind of how I got into working here. I feel like I'm already starting to see it just around me of more people, in their 20s kind of getting into working on pianos, because there's an increasing demand as people in the industry and tuners age. I see a lot of young people getting into the field. And as far as pianos in general, I think there's going to be somewhat of a renewed interest, and I think we are already seeing it now. People wanting their kids to play music. More and more research is coming out showing that playing musical instruments is just good for your development, and so I think a lot of parents are going to start seeing that over time and wanting their kids to get into music. And then right now, in my opinion, a digital instrument just can't compare with an acoustic piano. So I think for the near future, pianos are going to continue to be a thing that there's demand for.